So then, what is the best chain bar setup for your small climbing saws? I was going to do this just on the little Echoes, 2511, 2500s, but after kind of thinking it through, kind of makes sense for all small climbing saws, so your Huskies and your Stihls as well. Starting at the big end of the spectrum, you got your 3/8 stuff. Now, this is huge for such a small saw, but it's not too much for it. It will pull it, however, not efficiently. So just before we do get to my quarter pitch options, that's all I have. There's that 325 Speed Cut Nano from Oregon as well. Husky used that, that sizing as well. In theory, looks pretty well matched to these kind of size saws, but not used it. And honestly, it's about the same price as quarter pitch, so I'd probably go quarter pitch anyway. Skipping over that swiftly brings us on to your quarter pitch options, which most people will probably be running on these kind of 25 to 30cc saws. So first up, it comes, or these two Echoes come, when you get the quarter pitch version, with a 0.50 quarter pitch carving bar, sprocketless bar, thick gauge chain. It's much more comparable to that 325 Speed Cut, I imagine. It sits pretty much bang in the middle between your 3/8 and your other quarter pitch chains that are filed on 3.2mm from Stihl and Panther. So, cuts really fast, nicely matched, but these bars are rubbish and you cannot cut at maximum speed with these bars because they're for carving. So neither of them are very good options in my opinion. Now, one that I don't have that is very popular is your Sugihara A4S chain and matching bar. Problem with that, it's not very compatible. You can't use any other chain or any other bar apart from those Sugi A4S chains. Incidentally, this 0.50 Echo carving bar, that is actually made by Sugi. Anyway, Sugihara, quarter pitch, 0.43, same gauge as Stihl and Panther, but it does have a very, very slightly wider kerf than the Stihl and Panther options, which is what we've got here. So this is a Panther mini bar. I've been running these basically since they came out. This was the first proper bar I put on my Echo. They've got a sprocket and they're running quarter pitch 0.43. So originally these were made for Stihl's PM3 chain, but now Panther make their own chain. It's a lot cheaper and I actually think it's better. Softer, undeniably. Stihl's chain is just the hardest in the business. The edge will last longer, but it'll be harder to file. Yeah, these Panthers a little bit softer, easier to file, but considering they're about half the price, highly recommend these. The problem with these, chain, solid, but the sprockets on these just blow. I must have gone through, I don't know, 10 of these, and every single one, the sprocket's blown. I actually had one, I'm about to send it back, I actually had one where the sprocket blew literally on first use, as in, it didn't just dislodge where this rivet is, as you'd expect from wear and tear. The entire sprocket actually disintegrated and exploded. So yeah, I wasn't impressed with that. But otherwise, beautiful cutting. They just don't seem to last very long, unfortunately. Yeah, and they are a bit flexy as well. Which brings me on to what I am currently running, which is a new prototype Tsumura, quarter pitch, 12-inch, 0.43, running the Panther chain. You could run the Stihl chain on it as well. I like these chains because they file on 3.2mm. Unlike the other options, even the other quarter pitch options, the only kind of small curve 3.2mm filed chains for these saws that I'm aware of are Panther, Stihl, and your cheap knockoff Chinese brands that I would stay well away from, unless you figure out who's making Stihl and Panthers, and then I'd be interested. Comments if you know. But this, I am pretty sure, is going to be the Panther version 3 bars. They're just made by Tsumura. So at the moment these are in prototype, but expect these to start showing up as the next batch of Panther bars, I think, but I could be wrong. They are a lot more rigid. They feel a lot more sturdy than the Panther bars. This is like Panther version 2. These are the flexi ones. Version 1 were actually pretty decent. I didn't go through anywhere near as many of them as I did the ones that Panther are currently selling. However, high hopes for these future Tsumura ones. Quarter pitch, 0.43, rock solid. The sprocket looks so much more robust, and you have a grease point for your sprocket as well. So high hopes for these. At the moment, I think that this is the best option. And if you are running Stihl saws, well, even if you're running Echo, you can convert the Stihl quarter pitch bars for Echo. Some people, I believe, you buy the chain with an extra link for the 161T, and it just works plug and play. Not tried it, but either way, if not, you can convert it, and they are really good bars as well. Run the Panther or the Stihl 3.2mm filed chain. Yeah, good option if you're using a Stihl saw, obviously, but otherwise, I think this is what I'd recommend. One more to throw into the mix. Husky have patented, they're working on their first quarter pitch chain. I actually think it's probably going to pop up in the kind of the homeowner little pruning saws, like the little Milwaukee hatchet, that pruning version of that. I think that's where that's headed for. But there is hope that it'll go on a 525, a new version of the 525. But the problem with that is quarter pitch, 0.43, same as everyone else, but it's filed on 4mm, so it is not going to be as smooth cutting as your Stihl and Panther options. Stick that on a bigger saw, say 35-40cc, like their new 540 Mark III, and I reckon that'll be absolute ripper. It's not going to be too much for these. You're just going to be a bit above that efficiency. The 3.2mm, 0.43 gauge quarter pitch. Perfect for these. I reckon that might be a little bit too much. So yeah, in summation, 3/8. It'll work a little bit too much for kind of cutting, real world cutting efficiency with these Echoes, your 150, your 525, I think. Your 325 speed cut, not got it here, but yeah, everyone seems to rave about that. However, if you're gonna convert, I would convert to quarter pitch. This is the 0.501. Yeah, not a good option, but it is what it comes with. Your 0.43 Panther bars. If you're interested, if you're gonna do it, I'd probably wait until these new Tsumura bars come in, unless you can get your hands on one of these prototypes. That's where it's at now. It is between these Stihl light bars if you're a Stihl saw. If you're running anything else, get on these Tsumura and Panther bars. That's my recommendation. So, quarter pitch all the way. Climb safe, see you next time.